Hey guys, it's Elena and today I have another cloth diapering video for you. Today is a highly requested video. We're going to be talking all about Preflats. I have 5 different brands of Preflats that we're going to talk about today. I do have reviews, like full reviews on most of these, and so I will leave those linked down below if you're interested in seeing a little bit more up close and personal with some of these brands. But overall, I'm just going to tell you how I feel about each individual one, which ones I would recommend, what I think are kind of like the best bang for your buck, and yeah, so let's hop right in. So what brands do we have? We have Too Busy Bums, Hippie Bums, an Etsy shop, Punkin Seeds Co, which is another Etsy shop, Bebe, and Fruit of the Womb. So right off the bat, I do want to go over kind of my pros and cons for Preflats in general. So the way I see it is it's like a simplified version of a pre-fold or a flat diaper, and the reason I think that most people go with pre-folds and flats are because they are affordable. But for the most part, Preflats are kind of a luxury item. They're really not the most affordable kinds of cloth diapers around these days. And that may come from the fact that most of these are like made by stay-at-home moms, you know, working at home moms who are trying to make a living and want to be compensated for all of their hard work, all of their sewing, and in some cases dyeing of these things. So they're not really like mass produced by any big brands that I know of right now. So most of them are just very, you know, like individually made items, and so they're gonna have a higher price tag because of the effort and the time and everything that goes into making something by hand, right? So I think of Preflats as more of like a luxury item, honestly. However, they are usually thin, only like a couple layers thick, so they should wash up really nicely. They should dry really quickly. They shouldn't give you any trouble with your wash routine because there's just not a lot of bulk and fluff in there. They should be easier to care for all around. They're easier to put on baby because it's already shaped the way you need it to. You don't have to do any special folding. You just, you know, fold in the insides, fold in the wings, and then attach it to baby. It's, you know, doesn't take much skill to put that together. It makes sense. It's very basic. They are a trim fit, I must say. If you ever use like stretchy flats also have a great trimness to them. If you hate the bulk of some cloth diapers, if you don't like baby's butt to look like 3 times as big as it is, if you like something to be nice and trim, you like baby's leggings and pants to fit perfectly, Preflats are a great option because they can be so trim on baby's butt. It makes it look like they're just wearing a disposable. Lastly, they are super easy to boost. So if you have your Preflat here all folded out, all you have to do is take whatever extra insert, whatever extra material you want to add absorbency to it, just stick it right there in the middle. You fold it up inside and it's nice and secure inside of the diaper. When you fold it up and store it on the changing table or whatever, it's all nice and secure inside there. It makes it really easy to fold in any kind of extra boost of absorbency that you need. And if you're using very thin little boosters of absorbency, like these particular Too Busy Bum, just like a little, it's like 2 layers of fabric and a little rectangle. You can just fold it in half and boost it up in there. This is also going to wash easily. It's going to dry easily because you're using something that's very thin. It's not super big and fluffy. So you can keep your laundry very simple by just adding in, you know, a couple of these if you need extra boosts. So yeah, there are several pros to going with Preflats, but there are honestly a couple of cons. That first one included just that these can be a little bit more pricey, honestly, and I understand if you wouldn't want to create an entire stash of Preflats because they can get a little pricey if you're buying a bunch of them. They also have pretty thin wings. So this one here is from Hippie Bums. The wings are usually only a couple layers of fabric thick, and I can see how that would make people nervous about snappying it on baby's hips. I've never had any issues with baby being poked by a snappy or anything, but I can understand how that might kind of make you a little bit nervous when it's only a couple layers of fabric on the hip section of baby. Just try to make sure you can kind of splay out that front section to kind of double up and cover those hip areas. That's how I try to combat that. I've never had baby hurt by a snappy, And honestly, snappies are super sharp when you first get them, but after using them for, you know, a couple months or something, they do dull down quite a bit. They still work perfectly fine. They still poke into the fabric perfectly fine, but they're not so stabby when you like touch it. So just FYI, snappies are very sharp in the beginning, but they dull down pretty quickly, and then they're less scary and less intimidating after that. But yeah, I can see why some people would be nervous about using a snappy with something like this. If that makes you nervous, you could just use traditional little diaper pins on the edges to hold it all together. Another thing that personally kind of bugs me about these little guys is the hip fit on them. I always feel like they're very like narrow, and it just doesn't cover the butt as much as I like to see like with a traditional flat. When I usually do like an origami fold or like a diaper bag or Joe fold around baby, and I feel like the butt just gets covered better. Not that I have like issues with like poo escaping or anything, but just I like the way that it fits a little bit better when I use a traditional flat versus these pre-flats. I just feel like they can be a little narrow or like kind of just like weird looking on the butt side. So I guess let's go through and talk about these guys individually. So this is a Too Busy Bums set, and it comes with the pre-flat, which is 2 layers of stretchy fabric all sewn together on the edges, and then you also get a little extra booster, which is like a rectangle shape that you can fold in half to throw inside there. And then all you gotta do is fold in the edges and fold up the middle, and then you can just snappy that or pin that right onto baby. These are nice and stretchy, nice and thin. They are like hand dyed and gorgeous. Too Busy Bums are very affordable. They are located in India though, so shipping can sometimes take a while, and it can be a little bit more in shipping, but I still think that that offsets the cost of the diapers themselves. They're super affordable, but you do have to pay a little bit more in shipping, so you know, kind of give and take there. But they are gorgeous. I love me some hand-dyed stuff, as you'll see in our next little guy. This is from Hippie Bums. They are an Etsy shop in Canada, I believe, and they are some more beautifully hand-dyed things. These just come with just the pre-flat itself, so if you wanted to add a booster or something, you do have to, I don't know if they sell them separately or just you have to buy it from somebody else separately for a little booster on these guys, but they are beautifully hand-dyed. Once again, just like 2, maybe, yeah, like 2 layers of a stretchy material here. Next, I have Punkin Seeds Company, another Etsy shop, and these are the fluffiest of the bunch. So these are a little bit thicker, you know, have extra absorbency in there, and they're also kind of a little bit different design here. Like I said, I'll leave down below my full reviews if you guys want to see more up close and personal for each one of these guys. They have nice wide wings, which I like. Like you can see on the Hippie Bums, they're kind of like just small little wings. These Punkin Seeds ones are nice and curved. They just kind of cover the butt and the hip section a little bit better, and once again, they are a little bit thicker and fluffier, but not like bulky, you know, it's not super fluffy, but just thicker than these guys, so you don't need a booster to go along with these. Next are Noble Bebe, which this is their like regular size. I really like their toddler size. It's a little bit bigger, and I found that it was still fine on Barrett even when he was a tiny baby, maybe just a couple of months old. I felt like it fit fine on him. So yeah, once again, Noble Bebe just has kind of that straight little wing on there, pretty, you know, typical size compared to most of the others. This is just their normal like one size. And lastly is maybe one of my favorites. This is the Fruit of the Womb. I have a size 3, and I will leave down below exactly which line it is. I think she has different like categories for what kind of fabric it is and stuff like that. But it has the nice like angled wing, a nice big wing. I like that. And then I feel like they're a little bit thicker material. I just feel like they're a bit fluffier. And they're also like longer. So I do have to fold it up a little bit in the front. And I do think these Fruit of the Womb ones are some of my favorites. I like actually how big the wing section is, because when I fold it over Barrett, even now at almost a year old, it has plenty of overlap. Whereas when I fold around like the Hippie Bums and the Too Busy Bums, the wings just kind of barely come around the edge of Barrett and they don't cross over each other. On the Fruit of the Womb one, they fold like all the way over his like belly, and I just like the way that that fits a little bit better. Once again, I tried these on him when he was even just a few months old, and they fit him fine. You know, a little bit bulky for a tiny baby, but fit him fine, and they're still fitting him great. I really have confidence that these will totally fit until he is potty learning. At least, you know, hopefully if he potty learns around 2 or 3 years old. I think that the way that these wings are so big and generous and cross over his belly now at a year old, I think that it's definitely going to fit perfectly fine for months and maybe a couple of years to come. So I would recommend checking out Too Busy Bums. I think they have some gorgeous hand-dyed stuff. They're very affordable and just beautiful, beautiful stuff. They have lots of different options on the website. Hippie Bums are very pretty. They're a little bit pricey, but they are very pretty if you're looking for some particular, like if you see one on her Etsy shop and it's like a gorgeous dye job that you just really love, I would say pick it up, but they will need a booster because it doesn't come with any kind of extra material, extra booster inside there. The Punkin Seeds Company, I think, are nice if you want something that's nice and fluffy. If you don't want to deal with like these really thin little guys, these are a little bit fluffier, and it feels more like a pre-fold. Like it has the fluffiness, it has the layers like a pre-fold would, but it's cut into a nice little pre-flat cut. I like the angled wings. I like the big generous wings. That's something that I like. Another reason why I like that Fruit of the Womb one, the big generous wings, the extra material in the front to fold up. Once again, these are the size 3. And then lastly, the Noble Bebe were the first ones that I tried. They're all right. I do like the toddler size, the little bit bigger size. They do have those little boosters you can add in there. They're a nice little, you know, like middle of the road kind of deal. So I hope this video was at least a little bit informative. I feel like I was kind of all over the place with this one. I hope you learned something. I hope I helped you narrow down what pre-flats you might want to look into, or maybe you don't want to look into them at all. I hope this video was at least helpful in helping you decide whether or not you wanted to take a look at more pre-flats. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have been using pre-flats, let us know down in the comments below if you love them or hate them. What brands are your favorites? Let us know down below. If you have any other video topics you want me to talk about, cloth diapers or otherwise related, let me know down below as well. Give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it and found it helpful, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.